Peninsula BEZ, baby. Start with an NG right about there. Don't worry about the placement too much. There is perfect. Set him to last, and then get a dart above him. The dart should fit right there, no problem. Leave the dart on first, and then you can just chill. This is a super easy guide. We are using BEZ, of course, as you saw in the thumbnail, and the save up is just going to be pod. Pod is just really good. And when you combine that with BADs, it's even better. So at the end of round 7, get larger surface area on your NG. We're just going to get this guy to a 0-1-2 before we can get Pat. We are using Pat. It's a bit of a weird hero to use, but he is a good water hero. He's one of the only 2 heroes you can place on water. Get oversized nails mid round 10, just before the real final wave of blues at the end of the round. And then you get pin at the end of round 10. And now we can just save up to Pat Fusty. So the reason we're using Pat is, like I said before, we can place him in the water, so we don't have to like move anything. And then he also kind of synergizes well with that first ability with our early game, because we're going to go double Dragon's Breath, so that should be fun. And surprisingly very effective. During 14, turn off auto start so you can place Pat Fusty at the end of the round with no stress. And yeah, just watch Pin cook, it's just such a good upgrade. So at the end of 14, place Pat as bottom right as possible above that island right there. The placement isn't really precise or anything, just kind of put him as low as you can. It's okay if his range kind of only hits half the track, he will hit the balloons as you're about to see. Set him to strong, not close, but strong. And now you can turn auto start back on, and as you see, he's hitting the balloons. Get double gun at the end of 16. And that's just going to carry for a really long time. It's just going to make 21 a joke. Clear that left island once you can afford it after you get double gun. And then get a wizard monkey at the top of that island. It should have that little marker saying it's in Pat's range for the Pat roll. And then upgrade that to a 002 monkey sense before the camo on 24. And then make it a 022 when you can. So I get Wall of Fire at the start of 27. And then get your second Wizard Monkey, who should also have that little symbol of the Pat Roar above his head. And then upgrade him to a 022 when you can afford it. You should have 2 022 Wizard Monkeys before the camo's on 33. And try and upgrade at the exact time that I did so that you always have a Wall of Fire up. But as you can kind of see, it doesn't really matter that much. Like, even if you have a bit of a gap in the Wall of Fires, you will be fine because double gun is just that good. And yeah, now you don't have to do anything until we can afford our first Dragon's Breath. So get your first D-Breath on that top Wizard Monkey at the end of 36. Just in time for those pesky camo whites on 37. And with this strat we actually afford our second D-Breath before 40 as well, which is just going to completely cook the Moab. So get your second deep breath mid 39 or just before 40. For 40, use Pat's Raw when the Moab comes out, and the deep breath will just completely destroy the Moab. Before 45, turn off auto start because you will lose to that round if you just keep auto start on. At the end of 44, get a village in that top right corner, but not as top right as possible. So put it a bit lower than you possibly can. Upgrade it to a 102 discount village. Then get an engineer monkey to the left of that village. About there is good. Upgrade it to a 030 foam, and then place the foam as low as possible while still hitting the left side of the track. And then get a wizard monkey as low as possible, a bit to the left side of that island, and upgrade that wizard to a 103 shimmer. This guy's going to be our pod. The reason we need the cleansing foam is for the camo purples on 45 and 48. Shimmer doesn't do enough to actually decamo them, so we need the foam, but it's not a big deal anyway. And now you can turn auto start back on. Get Necromancer when you can, and then after that buy an Alk, and upgrade that Alk to a 300 Berserker Brew, and then just leave it like that. We're not trying to spend any more money than we have to, just so that we can get pod earlier and then get BEZ earlier. And from now on, it's pretty much entirely AFK. You don't have to use any abilities. If you feel scared, you can use Pat's Raw, but you're not going to need to. So right before 60, you should be just chilling. At the start of 60, you'll unlock Pat's second ability, use that straight away, and then you can also use the Raw. You don't need to use the Raw, but you definitely need to use that second ability to split open the BFB. And then get pod as soon as you possibly can on 62, right before 63. My most hated round in BTD6. I still hate that round. And yeah, as you can well imagine now, it's super AFK for a long time. During 73, you'll see that I've already placed the Dartling Gunner. Before you do that, make sure you upgrade your village to Jungle Drums. That'll be after you get pod, obviously, so after 63, just get that village to Jungle Drums, and then you can get your Dartling Gunner to the right of your pod. Try and place the Dartling as low as possible, because we do need to fit a village between the Dartling Gunner and that top village, but that's going to be much later in the run. And then you can just chill for a little bit. You will be able to afford a 204 BADS before 75, as you just see here. And from now on, it's really AFK. Super easy for a very long time. So I'll see you back then. During 92, you see that I use Pat's Raw. You don't need to at all, but it just speeds up the round, so if you want to make the rounds go faster, definitely use it. Get BEZ at the end of 92. It's not going to do much to the DDTs because it can't actually hit leads. But we're going to fix that because you're going to have space between your BEZ and that top village to place another village. So place that village and then upgrade it to a 030 MIB. You should buy that MIB just before 95, so it's kind of perfect. And then you can work on upgrading your Alchemist to a 420, so buy the middle cross path on it, Perishing Potions, after you get your MIB. Obviously very important to get the MIB first, so that our friend BEZ can actually hit DDTs. And then get Stronger Stim, and the Stim should be buffing BEZ if you place things properly. If it isn't, it's not the end of the world, you will be fine, so don't stress about it too much. Like I said at the start, this is a super chill guide. Just watch BEZ cook everything. You're going to have about 25k spare. You can do whatever you want with this money. You can buy Call to Arms and use that for around 100. You can buy First Strike. You can do whatever the hell you want, but I didn't do anything just to show you that you don't need to do anything at all. So yeah, enjoy your 25k spare, and yeah, hope you enjoy this guide. It is super chill and fun.